Shalom Eastern Shore. I'm Rabbi David Tokajer with Congregation Mayim Chayim on the beautiful Alabama Gulf Coast, and I'm bringing you your daily dose of living water. Today I want to discuss a passage from the Gospel of Matthew about an encounter between Yeshua and his disciples. All of us have had our ups and downs in life. We've all experienced our own storms and crises, and if we're honest, we can admit that most of the time, we probably don't handle these times the way we should. In Matthew 8, verses 23 through 27, we read, as he, speaking of Yeshua, got into the boat, his disciples followed him. Suddenly, a great storm arose on the sea, so that the boat was being covered by the waves. But Yeshua kept on sleeping. So they came and woke him up, saying, Master, save us, we're perishing. He said to them, why are you afraid, O you of little faith? And then he got up and rebuked the winds and the sea, and it became totally calm. The men were amazed, saying, what kind of person is this? Even the winds and the sea obey him. See, when things get tough, as humans, we tend to get a little uptight, as we see with the disciples. But notice how calm, cool, and collected Yeshua was. I mean, really, he was sound asleep while the boat was getting tossed around like a dirt bike on a motocross race. I'd love to say I've never had moments in life where I acted like the disciples did here. But if I'm honest, I probably sounded kind of like the disciples when I was frantically hopping from store to store last week looking for toilet paper because we were running uncomfortably low at home. Think about it. The disciples had just witnessed Yeshua heal a man with leprosy. They saw him heal Peter's mother-in-law. They saw him bring deliverance to people who were afflicted by demons. Yet when their lives felt endangered and their deliverance was literally with them, they quaked in fear. Personally, I can picture myself in their sandals. I can even imagine some of the thoughts that might go through my head and perhaps even some of the words that might come out of my mouth. As a matter of fact, in the same account in Mark chapter 4, they even turned to accusing Yeshua, saying, Teacher, don't you even care that we're perishing? But isn't this often the same mentality that we have when things get difficult? But God, don't you even care about me? Life can be a bumpy roller coaster, no doubt about it. The last few weeks in a global crisis have shown us that rather quickly and painfully. But as followers of Messiah, we are called to emulate him, to live like him, to walk in the same Holy Spirit power as him. Notice how, as the waves were tossing and the rain was filling the boat, as those around him were losing their minds, writhing in fear, he was calmly sleeping. You and I have a choice in the day and age we live in. And trust me, if you think this pandemic is bad, things are only going to get way more complicated before Messiah's return. The choice that lays before us is to cower in fear, make accusations, and play the blame game. Or we can live the call of a disciple and emulate Yeshua, walking in the power of the Holy Spirit. Simply look at the news or your social media feeds, and you'll know without a shadow of a doubt that today is the day to make the decision. Are you going to give in to doubt and fear? Or are you going to live like Yeshua? The choice is yours. Shalom.